Hello there, sports fans, and happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Ocean Star Sports Show. I am your beloved host, sports reporter Dominic Polio. This week I've got some Shore Conference tournament action for you from Borough Baseball, and then I've got some state tournament action for you from Point Beach Softball. So we're going to kick things off with Point Borough Baseball, who hosted Ocean Township last Friday, and boy, was it a game to watch. Stay in your seats and check out the highlight. Point Borough Baseball is never short of exciting, and last Friday's Shore Conference tournament game against Ocean Township was no different. The Panthers battled back from a 4-run deficit to win in extra innings, but we'll take it from the top. After trailing 1-0 in the first, Mike Falconetti gave Borough the lead with a 2-run double in the bottom half. The next score did not come until the third, and it was 2 runs and the lead for Ocean. This grounder through the gap scored 2, but they weren't quite finished. In the third, 1 run scored on this hit, and Borough recovered, snagging an Ocean runner at third base with the relay. But Ocean scored 2 more on a hit to left field to increase their lead to 6-2. A line drive to Mark Leibel at third stopped the bleeding for Borough. Borough then cut the deficit in the 5th. Pat Feehan beat the throw to get on base. And Frank Graziano smacked a sac fly to center to score the run. The inning also featured Sam Monaco's 100th career hit, and in perfect Monaco fashion, he utilizes his speed to reach base here. In the 6th inning, Ocean added to their lead. The first run scored on a grounder up the middle, and with 2 outs put away, they scored again on a rarely seen drop ball in center from Graziano. A sac fly from Pat Feehan pulled the Panthers within 4, and then Borough held Ocean scoreless in the top of the 7th. Then the Panthers did what they do best. They hit. The first run across the plate came on a Falconetti ripper up the middle. Ocean's pitcher then struck out Sebastian Severio and Josiah Glidden before Thomas Paul stepped up to the plate. Paul hit a shallow ball to right, which induced a collision between the second baseman and right fielder. Paul reached second base, and Borough had pulled within 1. Kyle Loria came up to bat to try and keep the rally alive. A ground to the third looked to be it, but a missed throw gives Borough life. Paul gets waved on home to tie the game, and we go into extra innings. Ocean then retook the lead in the 8th with a grounder just out of reach of a diving Pat Feehan. But Borough has Falconetti. In the bottom of the inning, the senior smacked a ball to the fence. He kicks it into high gear and tries to stretch the play all the way to third. Ocean's throw comes in, but misses its mark and ends up going out of play, which means Falconetti gets the next base, and again, the game is tied. Ocean closed out the inning, but Borough held them scoreless in the 9th. With their turn at bat, Pat Feehan got things started with this ball to left. It looked like a clean circus catch, but the ump made the right call as it hit the ground. Then it was Monaco with the absolutely perfect bunt down the third baseline. A passed ball then moved Borough's runners into scoring position, and Bill Feehan wastes no time. He smacks the walk-off single that scores Patrick Feehan, and the Panthers take the game 10-9 in 9 thrilling innings. Another thrilling comeback for Point Borough and the Panther faithful. What a game. The win moved them on to the next round of the Shore Conference tournament, where they traveled to play Red Bank Catholic. It was another tough matchup for Point Borough, and it was a tough game on that artificial turf out there in Red Bank. So, check out the highlight and see how it all played out. It was a rough outing for the Point Borough baseball team in Wednesday's Shore Conference quarterfinals game against Red Bank Catholic. The Casey's defended their home field, winning by a final score of 9-2, and they got started early. In the first inning, they ran up the score with big hit after big hit, eventually taking a 4-0 lead. But Borough settled down and eventually scored in the 4th inning. Bill Feehan kicked things off with a double on a missed catch out in left field. Then Frank Graziano followed suit with another double that plated Feehan and put Borough on the board. Then Mike Falconetti hit a single to right field to put runners on the corners for the Panthers. Up next was Sebastian Saverio with a deep ball to right field that actually bounces over the fence for the ground rule double. The hit scored Graziano, and Burrows only trailing 4-2. The inning went sour on a botched suicide squeeze, and Falconetti gets tagged for the out. Thomas Paul then struck out to close out the side. In the fifth inning, RBC tacked on another run on this hit to right field, and Coach David Drew took out Josiah Glidden and put in Tim Rossi. Unfortunately, on Rossi's first pitch, Aiden Supp gives it a long ride over the left field wall for a 3-run home run. It put RBC way out in front and deflated the Panthers. The Caseys then added one more run in the sixth for the 9-2 lead. The game closed out with a ground out back to the pitcher. And Red Bank Catholic secured the win over Borough to advance. A tough way to get bounced out of the tournament there for Point Borough, but Red Bank Catholic is no joke, and they have been there before. We're going to transition over from baseball to softball. As I said earlier, it's the state tournament. Central Jersey Group 1, and it's your Garnet Gulls softball team who hosted Perth Amboy Tech in the first round of the tournament on Monday. It was a great game. Check out the highlight and tell me what you think. The Point Beach softball team kicked off Central Jersey Group 1 tournament action against Perth Amboy Tech on Monday. The Garnet Gulls took the shutout win 8-0 after a slow start to the game. They had trouble hitting Amboy's pitcher, who had a drawn-out windup and slow pitch. The Gulls kept popping the ball up, making easy outs for the defense. They eventually focused in and scored their first runs in the third. The first score came courtesy of Katie Renaro, who was walked. As she reached first, she took advantage of a botched throw back to the pitcher and made a move towards second. Meanwhile, Lauren Knapp, who was on third, scored as Amboy gunned for Renaro at first, again missing the throw. With Renaro on second, it was Ashley Kelly with a liner for the RBI double. The senior then reached third on an overthrow. The third run scored similar to the first, with Kelly sneaking home as Hannah Nagy sacrificed herself after being walked. Amboy managed to end the inning, but Beach scored again in the fourth and fifth. An RBI single from Knapp scored Michaela Hughes in the fourth, and a sacrifice fly from Nagy scored a run in the fifth. In the sixth, Beach extended their lead even further. Olivia Weber reached base with a perfect bunt, and after moving to second, Hughes hit her home. Then, with 2 on and 2 out, it was Nagy who drove a ball to center field that went for a 2-run single. Beach was up 8-0 heading into the final inning. It was more stellar defense from Knapp at second that provided the Gulls with the first 2 outs. Here, she manages to get the base runner to leave the base path before throwing to first to complete the double play. Then it was 3 pitches and 3 strikes from Kylie Kells on the mound to close out the first round victory for Beach. Another strong day on the mound for Kylie Kells. She only allowed 3 hits, walked none, and struck out 9. She also had strong defense all game from Lauren Knapp at second base. A quiet player, but lets her play do the talking. Those are the only 3 highlights I have for you guys for this week. But as you know, there's always more sports in the actual newspaper. So make sure you pick up this week's copy of The Ocean Star. That is May 27th, 2016. You can follow me on Twitter at Dom Polio. That's at DOMPOLLIO. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by and checking out the show. We're winding down this spring season, and oh, it is so sad. But there will still be another episode of the Ocean Star Sports Show next week. So hopefully you guys return and check me out because I'll be here. For now, though, reporting for Star News Group, I'm Dominic Polio. Make sure you go outside and enjoy this warm weather and have a happy Memorial Day.